All right, so this is an F4, and it was a selection from a non-variegated Brian's Blood, white flower, and the reason why I kept it, most productive plant, and I had the most fruit. And I was still wanting to select out for variegation, and boom, there you go. That's my variegation. And it's got at least one or two like that. And that's why we sow out in mass. And then this one over here, this is a Biker's Billy, blue and white. This is out of a variegated selection. It should be 100% variegated. But normally when I cull just like this, around this height, and I'll only select out, the 2 or 3 per however many square inches that show up the variegation trait. So am I throwing out a lot of winners? Heck yeah. But I'm also guaranteeing that I'm only growing out winners. So that's the excitement, and that's how we chase the magic. We get stuff like this. That's another variegated jalapeno. And that one, since we know variegated genes are recessive, homozygous is going to be true breeding for that gene, for that particular phenotype. So the genotype right here, we probably have some that are non-variegated in this. We selected out, we could go on and, to F30, F20, whatever, and it's gonna still be able to pull out those variegated seedlings. It doesn't mean that, just because you got a brand new phenotype that's showing up, that wasn't hidden in your plants all along. So a lot of these people think, I made this new cross. No, you didn't make a new cross. You just found another phenotype that was hidden in the genotype all along. And that's why we have crosses where we're not entirely sure what it is, like with the Wartrix that was insect pollinated, the UFO, no one knows that one. And then I would say probably 90% of the other hybrids out there, most of the quote-unquote hybridizers, they don't go through the process of selecting out for something like this because they know it's in there. They just know something's odd. They're not really hybridizing. They're waiting on the insects to do the work for them. And then they say, that's odd. Let me try to grow out a bunch of them just like this. And they sow en masse, and then they pull out that 1 or 2 that are the gems, the magic that's in it. So not to take away from the art of finding those oddities, or that, the 2 or 3% that's outcrossed, but that's what most of the pepper hybridizers are doing. They're not actually putting, pollen to stigma. And if they actually put pollen to stigma, then they would know what to look for and what might be down the road, and they could study that a little bit easier. But at any rate, that's just a little tidbit on how I personally do things. I like to do it by hand, so I kind of know what I'm looking for in the generations to come. And most of my crosses, as you can tell, jalapeno, poblano type genetics, absolutely have fun doing that because it makes edible. And not that, all peppers aren't edible, but it makes them more focused on the flavor and the beauty. And I think we can do all of that. We can focus on all of it. We don't have to just give up and have just good tasting peppers or just, outstandingly beautiful peppers.